Alright, so I have something to review today that I was very excited to get. Had this on pre-order for a long time, saw it from one of my favorite companies, and I just couldn't wait because this is something I've never seen anybody do before. And what I'm talking about is the 1/6 scale Batman the Animated Series Batman from Mondo. If you're familiar with Mondo, you've seen a couple of our statue reviews from Mondo. You got your Harley Quinn one.
Yes.
Big fan of that, right?
Mondo.
Yeah, and then I got my Red Rain Batman, the Vampire Batman.
That was so pretty.
Another fantastic statue. And then now they're into 1/6 scale figures. So this isn't the only stuff they're doing. They actually are also doing Mr. Freeze coming out that we saw, and they're getting into Masters of the Universe, which is pretty cool. So let me give you a rundown on the information here before we get into the review. First off, this will run you about $120, $125 depending on where you get it. Again, it's 1/6 scale, and they also have a collector's edition. So this is the regular version. Mondo's site actually sold that exclusive version that came with a different cape that sort of flew in the wind on the side and then had the hard act head. So there was a couple different things. I want the regular version just because... I don't know why I want the regular version.
I like the style of this one,
I think I didn't pre-order it in time because I think it sold out really quickly, just like anything Mondo. So when I buy Mondo, I expect quality. That's in paint. I expect really quality all around because everything I bought from Mondo before, the quality felt very high.
I expect a lot of detail as well.
That's it. So first off, as you can see, it comes in a really cool box. Like as soon as I pulled this out, I was like, oh man, look at that yellow, and you got the nice artwork on the front.
It's super bright, it's mustard.
If you weren't familiar with Mondo, they are an art studio in Austin. They have an art studio in Austin. So when you see anything Mondo, you expect good art. And they didn't disappoint here on the box. You can see that. And then on the back of it, you have another sort of digital, you can see Gotham City in the back, and then the police blimps, and then it goes down into the city. So it looks kind of digital, but it's not.
It kind of reminds me of Lego a little bit because of how boxy it is. I like that though.
Yeah. So really cool, and you can just see there and nothing, and then you got the spine. And same thing on here. And it does have a window. I'm a big fan of any box that has windows where you can see on the inside of it. So I love that. And then what's it say here? I didn't even read it.
I think it's important for them when they have windows to have Velcro, especially on something when you're spending about
magnets.
This kind of amount.
So it says reports of a huge bat creature the size of a man. Remind you of anything? Batman. So very cool, very cool. So this thing has a lot of accessories. You have 3 different head sculpts. So you have like a smirk, you have a kind of a anger face, you know, like a pain, like, oh, Batman, my back hurts.
You always have an angry face with Batman.
And then you have a regular straight line face, which is probably the one I'm going to pick, only because the other one that has the sort of growl, I think it just looks kind of weird with the line in the mouth.
Yeah, I agree.
Some things transition well, you know, in real life other than animation. I'm not so sure I totally like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's
cool.
not my top choice.
Now, going into the other accessories, we have a gas mask, which is really cool because it has a Velcro strap on the back of it. So you can literally put it on his head, which is very cool. So in the future, if we see a Joker come out, which I assume they're going to work more into the line, maybe that'd be a cool one to put on when you do like the scene if he's going to have some poison gas or something. That'd be very cool. You also have, it looks like a magazine, I think. And some of these accessories, I don't honestly know what they are. I didn't look them up when I probably should have. But I don't know what that is, to be honest.
I don't know. It looks like a gun magazine.
It looks like a magazine to me, but I don't know.
But Batman doesn't use it.
That could also be a bomb clicker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. It has a grappling hook, which is what I have him carrying currently, which is very cool. 2 different grappling hooks. I'll go over the other one here in a minute, but very cool. Just a basic one, nothing coming out of it. You got 6 different hands, not including the ones that come on him, so you can carry or hold the various different accessories. Now, what I was talking about before, the grappling hook, it also comes with a grappling hook that has the grapple and like a metal string that you can shoot it out, so you can make a very cool scene. Yeah, that's awesome. This is a very cool idea. Big fan of that. And I will use that one once I get... See, this is going to make an amazing Batman the Animated Series scene.
It will.
I just don't have it together and set up, and I'm going to wait till I get more of these 1/6 scale figures because I am so excited about the future, the potential of a 1/6 scale Batman the Animated Series line. Amazing. We also have a couple batarangs, a tape recorder. Now, funny enough, one of the other accessories they included was the chicken soup can, the canister, that Batman used to defeat Mr. Freeze. So they're kind of setting you up for that Mr. Freeze figure too, so that's really neat.
What was that stuff? The only way to fight a cold.
Great accessories. For the price you're paying for this, they really did give you a lot.
Yeah, they did.
I can definitely appreciate what they have going on there. Now, getting into the figure, the bread and butter, the cool part of this, is Batman 1/6 scale awesome. I feel like I waited forever for a Batman the Animated Series 1/6 scale figure. I didn't know if I wanted it in plastic like a giant action figure like this is, or I wanted it in cloth, which would have been cool too. I would have preferred cloth because I think that would just be cool.
Cloth would have been cool.
So think of this as a giant action figure.
Yeah,
a
that's
1/6
basically
scale
what
action
it is.
figure is what it is. It works though.
It does.
It works so well. And I love it. I love the different poses that you can do. And it's very heavy.
It's solid, that's for sure.
It is solid.
I wish that the cape would have been cloth though, because that big piece of leather or pleather or plastic or whatever you want to call it, it's kind of weird to me.
I do appreciate though that it's thin, so it does kind of look more like a cape.
Yeah.
But we'll go into the negative aspects of it here in a minute.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot positive in this. I really do.
Oh, definitely.
When I look at Mondo, again, I always think of quality and
I love the joints.
Pushing it. Yeah. The
articulation
joints, they're not bad, right?
is pretty fantastic.
They're not too bad. It does have some pretty good articulation. It's not something to necessarily write home about. It's not something that's just amazing. It doesn't have a whole lot of joints, so you're not going to get like any ab joints or crunches or anything. So you can be pretty basic on what you can do with posing. Basically what you would get with an action figure.
Right.
Nothing more than that. But overall, I mean, it looks a lot like Batman the Animated Series Batman. When you see this on the shelf, you're going to think, awesome. When I think of it, I need some lights, some cool lights, maybe a red background. Big fan of it.
I think it should have a blue light on it.
Not red. Well, like a red background, like the city from Batman Animated Series.
Yeah, that's true.
Something like that.
I was thinking of the blue in his cape.
So, yeah, I love it. I love the design. I love that they're doing 1/6 scale. I'm just a huge fan of what's going on with here, and I will pre-order all of them. Okay. Now, there are some negative aspects about it. I don't want to say these negative... I'll say this. These negative aspects of it don't ruin it at all.
No.
These are things I'd just like to see improved because I think they could do a lot better. Because, again, when I think of Mondo, I think, maybe top of the line. Just... Not necessarily the sculpts and the statues and everything, but I feel like the quality of their paint and everything, it just goes above and beyond what I've seen in other companies. So, a few things I want to go over that I don't like. First off, the base is awesome. I will say this is a great base. The negative part is, though, the crotch hook is way too tall. So, when you see a Hot Toys, it just goes barely under the... I don't know how to say it without being weird, but barely under the crotch, right? This one, it literally goes all the way up to his belt.
I prefer these when they wrap around the waist instead of,
Even that would have been a good idea.
coming up in between the legs.
Yeah, so I don't know what was going on with that. That could have been placed in a much better position. I might try or attempt to cut that and then put the rubber toppings back on it.
Honestly, you could probably bend those right at the joints in the back to make them come up around the waist.
I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to cut them. So that's a negative part, I would say. That should have been... thought of a little better, and then just, because he's pretty durable, he's pretty heavy, so you didn't really need much of a crotch grab. Whatever. You didn't need much one, and he would have still stood up. So that's a negative to me, but I might be able to fix that. Other than that, a couple other negative aspects. I think the paint on this isn't as good as it should be.
Yeah.
A few things. First off, like on our figure, there's a couple parts that the gray needs like a couple more layers. And to me, when you have a layer issue in paint, that's pure, I don't want to say laziness.
It's bad quality control.
But yeah, that is about a bad quality control as you can get. Because those are things that you should never see. You can see things painted maybe you don't like or anything, but when you're dealing with not enough paint, that's bad. That's bad to me.
Yeah, that is bad.
Also, another negative I would say is I don't like how they use decals where the highlights are, like the light blue, and then instead of painting it.
Yeah.
Because this decal, I really feel like if I took my thumbnail or something, I could peel that off. And again, I don't like that. And especially when you're dealing with a vinyl, because this is made of vinyl and plastic, it doesn't adhere very well on something like that. So it just feels like they should have done paint.
Yeah.
Mentioning these decals, I wanted to show you something while I was taking photos to put in as B-roll. I noticed why I actually didn't like the fact that they were using decals, and it sort of proved my point. As you can see here in the front, the decal is actually coming off. So when you switch out the head sculpt, that rubs it off. Exactly like I was thinking. It's literally like a decal over the vinyl, which is a terrible, terrible idea because you can't put a thick enough clear coat on this, if any clear coat for that matter, to protect that. So this is what we get when you use a decal. Again, that's something Mondo is going to have to change in the future. Now, granted, when you're keeping it to a certain price, like basically $100, you're going to have to make decisions that maybe somebody that expects too much isn't gonna like.
Right.
Might be me. I don't know there. But again, these are things just being picky because I don't want to always say something's great when it's not. I want to tell you if, you know, when there are things that are negative. And I did buy this sort of sight unseen in a way. I mean, typically we study things very...
As I say, you're usually pretty critical about things that you purchase, and this
Yeah.
one was just kind of on the whim.
This was on the whim because I knew I wanted it.
Because
and
you trust Mondo.
I do. I trust Mondo. And still, again, this is a great figure. I love this. This is something that if you're a Batman the Animated Series fan, you will not be disappointed because at a $100 price point, it's really not that bad. Because when you're dealing with anything 1/6 scale figure, the prices go crazy.
Right.
So I appreciate that they, somewhere inside of them, kept price in mind. So as many people can buy it as possible.
Right.
So again, great figure. Very happy with all the different accessories. And just overall, I am so excited about this line. I just am.
I'm very excited for this line. I love Mondo and I love what they're doing. And I think that this is going to be something that they can capitalize on, and there's so many characters that they can expand with. It's exciting.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they literally hit a gold mine here
Yeah.
getting that license
Yeah.
because nobody else thought of a 1/6 scale.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, Hot Toys should have done this a long time ago. Or Sideshow, at least. You know,
Yeah.
my God. But yeah, big fan. Has a few flaws. Flaws don't ruin it. That's my review. Guys, thank you for watching. If you're interested in this figure, we'll post some information down below. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.